Tesla stock keeps going lower and lower and lower, and I'm loving it because I'm buying more Tesla stock the lower it goes. In fact, I've been buying so much Tesla stock, I'm broke again. Just like back in November of 2022, I'm broke again. I've just been buying so much. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay my next bill, to be honest with you. And it just keeps going lower, and I just love it. I think I'm close to almost 700 shares now. Sheesh! My goal is 1,000, by the way. If the prices are like this for the next year or so, which I think it will be for the end of this year at least, if they keep going lower, then yeah, I think I could probably, maybe reach 1,000. Let's see what happens. But there's a chance if that's the case. But anyways, in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 reasons why I'm all in on Tesla stock, but why I'm buying even more. I know I'm not a short-term trader. I'm a long-term investor in Tesla stock, and I'll continue to be a long-term investor in Tesla stock because one day, in my opinion, they will become the world's most valued company. But anyways, let's get down to the video. Smash the like button, guys, and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Let's go. Now guys, remember, these are my points and my opinions and what I believe in. You guys may disagree, and that's fine, but these are my beliefs. But starting off with number 1, Tesla is and will continue to become the dominant leader in the EV market share. Well, actually in the car market share, because there's no such thing as an EV market share. But by end of this decade, and mark my words, Tesla will be the number 1 car seller in the world. And the reason why I'm saying car seller again is because by 2030, almost all vehicles on the road will be EVs. Mark my words. I mean, we can just take a look at data right now. Take a look at this chart, and shout out to Prof. Ray Wilson providing his prediction on how EV adoption is going to take over. He's estimating that by 2027, 100% of all vehicles will be EVs. Sheesh. I personally think that full EV adoption will take some place in the early 2030s. Gary Black is saying 60% by 2030, and Elon Musk is saying 80% by 2030. All predictions are different, but one thing is for sure and certain. 100% EV adoption is inevitable. It's already happening. In fact, ICE vehicles have already peaked and are declining, and a lot of legacy automakers are discontinuing some of their gas car models to focus on EVs. I mean, that should be the biggest hint already that EV adoption is going to happen whether we like it or not. Now, if Tesla can have 15 to 20% of the total car market share by 2030 or beyond that, then that's huge. And it'll also make them the leader in the automotive industry. Given that all vehicles have now turned to EV, the whole car market is now the EV market share, which again, there's no such thing as EV market share, it's just the market share, which it'll be all EVs. I hope that wasn't too confusing. But yes, I do believe they will have that much market share because they are the only one that can scale this much and deliver globally. You could say second place is BYD because they can scale massively, but they're not global yet. And obviously they have, paper thin margins, so you can't really compare that to Tesla. But nonetheless, tell me another automaker company that can scale like BYD or Tesla. There is none at the moment. And by the way, guys, if you think 15 to 20% market share is not a lot, check out this chart right here. Apple averages about 18% market share globally, and they make $100 billion in profit a year. And yes, they are the market leader in the phone space. And this is some context for you just to think about. So that's reason number 1 in the EV space for Tesla, because we all know that Tesla in the bigger picture is not a car company. But if you want to view it as a car company, it's going to be the leader. That's the first point. The second point is the Cybertruck. I think most people and investors have forgotten that Tesla has about 1.5 million pre-orders of the Cybertruck. I mean, hello, 1.5 million pre-orders for a truck. I mean, which other car company has that many pre-orders for any truck or even current orders? I don't think there is. But anyways, moving on, let's say that each Cybertruck gets sold for $50,000. Most likely it'll be $55,000 and $60,000 and above because there's gonna be a whole lot more demand than supply. But let's just say $50,000 just to stay conservative. So if you multiply 1.5 million pre-orders by $50,000, that's $75 billion in revenue just the Cybertruck alone, and $12 billion in profits if you give it a 16% operating margin. Guys, that's like the full year of 2022. That's insane. And that's just pre-orders, guys. I hope you guys are realizing this. And by the way, guys, keep your eye out for next quarter because that's when the first Cybertruck is going to be delivered. So it's going to be very interesting. But that's a Cybertruck, guys. Don't sleep on it. It's 1.5 million pre-orders. It's crazy. But Aside from the Cybertruck, we also have the next gen vehicle coming out, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 vehicle, which by the way, the factory is being built in Mexico and will be probably finished by end of 2024. So we can expect the next gen being delivered end of 2024 or early 2025. Let me get this straight, guys. We have the Cybertruck ramping up, it's 2025. We have the Cybertruck ramping up to maybe 250, 300,000 production daily. And then we also, parallel to that, we have the $30,000 vehicle being produced as well. I hope you guys are realizing this. I hope you guys are realizing. That's all I gotta say. But nah, continue to sell. I love to keep buying at these ridiculous low prices. So that's the second reason, guys. Cybertruck and $25,000 vehicle coming out. Don't sleep on those. The third reason is I believe in FSD. And I also believe that Tesla's gonna be the first company to solve it. Why I believe Tesla will be the first? Well, competition is nowhere to be found. Don't believe me? Check out these facts. Based on ARX Invest research, Tesla's customers' own fleet drives more than 120 million miles per day and over 1 million miles per day in FSD. So imagine all that data being collected to enhance and improve FSD. Now let's talk about the competition. In their multi-year lifetimes, Cruise and Waymo have reached just 1 million miles each driven on public roads with no one behind the wheel. So you got Tesla FSD gathering every single day 1 million miles, but Waymo and Cruise over a multi-year lifetime, they just reached 1 million. Opposed from that, Tesla has over 120 million. Man, do you guys see the difference? Do you guys just see this difference? It's crazy. It's an order of magnitude. You just can't compare these two. But the competition is coming. You see, guys, I'm a big believer in Tesla solving FSD. And once it's solved and becomes a big part of Tesla, you'll start to see Wall Street adding FSD to their valuation. And because of this, the overall value for Tesla will increase enormously. It'll no longer be about how many vehicles Tesla will sell. It'll be that including how much FSD people will opt in for and how many of the current vehicles on the road will opt in for Tesla FSD. This is huge. So those who are complaining about Tesla cutting prices and worried about short-term margin declines, hello, don't sleep on this. This is in Tesla's long-term benefit. But you can only see this if you believe in FSD. If you guys don't believe in FSD, then maybe Tesla stock investing in it is probably not the best one. I think you'd be better off investing in another stock. Not financial advice, but just my take on it. So that's number 3. Reason number 3, I believe in FSD. Reason number 4, well, it's simple. I invest for the long term. Most of you guys watching are probably anxious because this is probably your first time seeing your portfolio down by 50% or more. And I totally understand that. It's scary, it's anxious, you probably can't sleep at night, but you have to know that this is a long-term game. This is a long-term investment. Think 2030 and beyond. I've been investing in the stock market for about a decade now. This is my 4th or 5th time when I see my portfolio down 40 to 50%. There were also times where my portfolio was up like 400-500%. So this up and down volatility is expected when you're invested in the stock market, especially with Tesla stock. Personally, I love these times because I can buy more Tesla stock on the cheap, and because I'm in it for the long term and not the next 6-12 months or the next quarter that Wall Street's price targets are based on, I get to benefit hugely once Tesla does something and drags the stock to the flippin' moon. If you can't wait long term and you guys can't sleep at night because holding the stock, then you probably should stay away from Tesla stock. That's just my own opinion. So that's my reason number 4. I'm a long-term investor. Now, reason number 5, Tesla eventually will not just be a car company. Now, don't fire me, guys. We all know that Tesla isn't really just a car company. They are more of a software company. But if we look at their numbers and profits today, well, it says it's a car company, all right? Don't hate on me. Don't tell me I'm a bear, but this is facts at the moment. 85 to 90%. Now, before this was 100%, now it's 85 to 90%, so it's getting less, but 85 to 90% of Tesla's sales and profits are coming from the vehicle side, hence making them more of a car company at the moment. But I don't think this will be the case in the 2030s. With energy slowly creeping up and FSD eventually becoming solved, Tesla will become more of an AI energy company, ultimately taking up to 50% or more of Tesla's sales and profits, making Tesla not so much of a car company at that time. In other words, this chart right here. Not too much about robots, as that's probably a 2040 thing, but energy and FSD is a Goliath when compared to vehicles. And when that happens, I expect Tesla revenue profits to be in the 12, 11 digits. Mark my words there. What I'm trying to say here, guys, is that Tesla is being undervalued because no one, well, I mean, us retail investors, we see it. It's just Wall Street ain't seeing it. But they're not seeing it. Wall Street is not seeing these parts of the company. They'll only see it once it happens. And then, you'll see what happened in 2020 where the stock jumped 5, 10x. Yeah, I don't think it'll be something like that, but we will definitely see a jump once, FSD is solved and energy becomes a massive part of Tesla. Wall Street will flip. But to put some context here so you guys could understand what I'm trying to say here is think Amazon AWS. When the management was saying in the earnings call and telling everybody for years before anyone was paying any attention to Amazon AWS, in fact, the narrative was the same thing with Tesla back then with Amazon, that it's never gonna happen. Why are they focusing on this? It's a waste of money. And then bam. See what happened? This AWS took Amazon to the world's most valued company in the mid-2010s. Sheesh! And we're seeing the same thing with Tesla right now with FSD. Saying that, competition is there, no one's gonna do FSD, regulatory approval, and countries won't do it, all these things. In this case, you're just gonna take a look at the data and see what's happening. And the data says and shows that FSD can drive safer than a flipping human. Just give this another 2-3 years and you'll see FSD doing some things. I mean, literally, in the 2030s, I'm expecting that we're sitting in a car and the car taking you places is gonna be a norm. I think by 2030s, if you drive, people are gonna say that, man, you'd still drive? Man, just let the car drive for you, man. I could be wrong, but I think this is where we're heading towards, man. Comment down below if you guys agree. But here are my 5 reasons why I'm buying more Tesla stock for the long term. And as you guys know, I'm all in Tesla stock. So the cheaper I can get it, the flipping better. And yes, you guys could probably retire off Tesla stock. You just need this many shares to do it. Check it out, obviously. It's a prediction alone, and take everything with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, it's very interesting. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Support the channel by becoming a channel member or getting some merch. Subscribe for more, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya!